Hello everybody, welcome back to Real Life to Jimny. In this video I'll be showing you how to replace your disc brakes. When I use the brakes slowing down, I have this shake on my steering wheel. That shake is caused by a warped disc brake. There can be a few reasons why a disc brake will warp. When you drive around in a city and you've used your brakes a lot and your disc is hot and you go through a puddle of water and all of a sudden that water cools that disc down, that causes the disc to warp. That's why I also don't suggest you wash your car straight after you've been driving with it. Yeah, and I'll replace my brake pads as well. Show you how my brake pads looks like. This is a very easy job. I showed my daughter once and she replaced the pads on her own. Yeah, let's get to it. I'll show you quickly how to do this. I'm just going to take off this spacer. This is the wheel spacer that I've put on. Now that we are on top of this caliper, loosen this two caliper pin bolts. Take this pin bolt out completely and just loosen that one so that I can swivel this caliper to get to the brake pads. I'll take this one out completely. Before we open this, I need to show you something else. This caliper brake cylinder is still holding onto this brake disc, so we need to put a screwdriver in there and just lever it so that we can push this cylinder backwards. You can see there's your caliper cylinder and your brake disc. Just put your screwdriver in there and push it backwards a little bit. Let me just get a shorter screwdriver there. Okay, this one is much better. Okay, so there you can see I'm pushing the cylinder backwards. I'm going to push it back quite far because the new brake pads is quite thick. These brake pads are worn. So I'm just going to push the cylinder back all the way so I don't battle with the cylinder when we put the thicker new brake pads back in. Okay, that's it. There you see, there's a nice big gap now. That cylinder is back all the way. Now we can pick this caliper up easily and swivel it open. Now you get to your brake pads, just hook your finger in there, pull it backwards, and that's out. It's easy as that. And then the back one, just push it backwards, out. You can see this one is quite worn. There's the new ones. See the difference? It was time for new ones. Here's your pad clips. This pad clips comes out, but don't forget when you put your new brake pads back, it will work without them. But what's going to happen, and it happened to me in the past, if you put it back without this pad clips, it's loose inside there. And then sometimes when you're driving on a gravel road, yeah, this brake pads then makes a noise. It's quite annoying. So make sure you always fit this pad clips back. They must be there. So they just go in like that. You clip in there. Clips in there. There you go. New brake pads. Just remember your anti-noise shims is on your brake pads. These brake pads came with the anti-noise shims clipped onto them. But yeah, some other brake pads like these ones, they came loose. So make sure when you install your brake pads, your anti-noise shims are on there. It just helps reduce unnecessary noise on your brakes when you use them. So that's it, as easy as that. There's your brake pads in. Another important thing is this cylinder slide bush here. Always make sure that thing slides freely. I had it in the past that one of my calipers was stuck. So yeah, just make sure it slides nice and freely. And if it doesn't, you can just clip this rubbers off, knock that pin out, clean it nicely with some paraffin, polish it up with a bit of Scotch-Brite, put some CV joint grease inside there and clip the rubbers back in again. Make sure this slides up and down nice and easy. Yeah, so now I can push this thing back and I can close it up again. Put my bolt back. It's easy as that. That's how you change brake pads. Same steps, take that out. I'm going to take out the brake pads again using the caliper carrier bolts. So once I've got those two bolts loose, this whole caliper carrier can come off, then this disc brake will be free. There you go. Now you've got the whole caliper out your way. So I'm just going to hang it that side. And now I can pull this brake disc off. There you go. Off comes the brake disc. As easy as that. If you do battle, sometimes it builds up a bit of rust here, around there. And then you battle to get this brake disc off. But that's why you've got this jacking holes there. It's threaded. It's an 8mm hole. So you can just get 2 bolts screwed in there. It will push against the back here. And it will push this brake disc off if you battle. I didn't battle. Mine came off quite easily. Take it off. Then you can put your new disc brake. And your caliper carrier. Make sure that thing go over your disc brake. Currently it's a bit loose here, but once you've got your wheel on and everything on again, it will pull that brake disc tight. Make sure it's tight. Put some force there. Put this caliper clip back again. Like I say, you'll be able to put your brake pads in without pad clips, but it's going to be noisy. There you go. Close it up again. You see what I meant? Now you've got thick new brake pads in here. That gap is now quite big, and I've pushed the caliper cylinder quite far with my screwdriver. But if you didn't from the start, you can always use a water pump pliers just to force it backwards more. Now, here you go. Put my caliper pin bolt back. That rubber came off a little bit. Now pushed it back on again. Just make sure this is tight. That's it. There you go. Put my I've got spices. Not everybody has got spices, so just put the spices back like this now. So you'll just have to get a friend to come hold the brake for you, start the car and press the brake, and so you can tighten this. Get some leverage, so I can make sure this is tight enough. It's tight. You guys might have noticed the suspension kit I've got installed here. Just want to give a shout out and a thanks to Desol, Willie and Linton there by Desol. What a difference this made to my drive. What a brilliant product. Thanks a lot, guys. If you've got a Jimny, I suggest you get one. This will definitely improve your ride. Okay, let's put on the wheel. There you go. That's how easy it is to replace your disc brake and pads. Now this will go to my wife for a Mother's Day gift, so she can put it in a scrap bin. If this video helped you and you like to Jimny,